Welcome back, my Painting with a Purpose friends. Today I'm going to show you guys how to paint a beach scene on a pineapple. The brushes you're going to need are your medium flat brush, your small and medium round brushes. You're going to need a cup of water, a rag to wipe your brushes off, and you're going to need the rainbow colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and white. Let's get started. The first thing we need for this picture is a horizon line. So we are going to take our blue paint on our flat brush, and we are going to draw a line right above the center of the pineapple belly. Just above the center of the pineapple belly. Now from here, I'm going to wipe that brush off, and I'm going to start by adding some red, then yellow, then white, ending with blue at the top. So I'm going to go in with some red paint. And remember, I didn't wash my brush off, I just wiped it off. I'm going to do a couple of lines of red paint. And I'm okay if my purple mixes in a little bit. Wipe that brush off and grab some more red paint. Pull that up a little bit higher. I'm going to wash that brush off all the way. I'm now going with yellow paint. Right up to where my pineapple curves, add some yellow paint in there. Pull those colors across. And I'm going to pull that yellow down into my red. I'm going to wash that brush off again. Wipe it off on my rag. I'm going to pull some more yellow down into that red. I'm going to pull some of that red up into my yellow. I'm going to wash that brush off really well. And I'm going to paint right to the center part right here. All of this is going to be white, including these little hooks. When I have that white finish, I'm going to pull that white down into my yellow. I'm going to pull that yellow up into my white, including these edges. I'll wash that brush off really well. Now I'm going to add my blue at the top. I'm going to start up here with my dark blue. Maybe even add a little bit of purple in it. And I'm going to pull that blue down a little bit into my white, but not too far, otherwise I'm going to get green. I'm going to wash my brush off. I'm going to pull some white up into my blue. Now that I've got the top of my pineapple mostly finished, I'm going to work on the water. I'm going to first start by making the letter V right here on my pineapple. I'm painting that in white. Without washing my brush, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint another part of my pineapple. Look, now I've got like a little smiley face with a light blue color. So I'm going to do blue and white. just going angled all the way across, keeping that little bit lighter area in the middle. I'm gonna wipe my brush off really well. And I'm gonna look down here at the bottom of my canvas. And I'm gonna create a sandy beach. And to do that, I have to create a sand color. And that sand color is going to be yellow, a little bit of orange, and a lot of white. Mix all those colors up. So I'm just gonna go right along here and paint this sand color in. Wash my brush off really well. And I'm ready to add in my sun and some clouds. So I'm gonna take my finger with white paint on it. And I'm gonna go right about here. And I'm gonna lay out my sun. My sun's just gonna be a white circle. Now at this point, we're gonna let our picture dry just a little bit before we start adding in our flowers and our clouds. Now that we have our painting mostly dry, we're gonna add a few clouds in our sky. And to do that, we have a clean flat brush and white paint. And we are just gonna drop a couple spots of white paint wherever we want these clouds to go. I'm gonna keep mine mostly towards the bottom of my canvas. I'm gonna wipe that brush off so that I know it's dry. There's nothing much left on it. I'm just gonna brush those clouds horizontally across my painting. Now, if you think you had a little bit too much on, that's an easy fix. You can always throw some extra red on there, or a little bit of extra yellow, whatever color you need to kind of tone it down a little bit. My clouds started taking over my painting. But I'd like you guys to see how I edit things and change things if I do something I don't love, because it happens. It's a natural thing when you're painting. You put something on your canvas and you realize, I did that way too much. Cover it up. I cover a lot of my stuff up when I'm painting. And I need to transfer some of these colors up here, down here to my water. So to do that, I'm gonna be using horizontal lines. So I'm gonna take my flat brush and I'm gonna flatten it out really nice. I'm gonna take some red, kind of like I did with my clouds. I'm just tapping that color on there. Then watch what I'm gonna do. This time I'm not gonna brush it like I did last time. I'm just gonna go right on that line. And I'm gonna pull that color across very gentle. I've got the red on there. I'm gonna wipe my brush off and I'm gonna grab some yellow. Put some yellow in here too. Last color I'm gonna throw in there is gonna be some purple. I'm gonna keep this purple resting towards the bottom of my water a little bit. Wipe that brush off really well. I'm now gonna add some white. This white is gonna be mostly concentrated in the center, with some of the colors going out just a little bit. Now let's talk about our water down here. What we want to do is we want to add some light blue right down here at the edge of our sand, kind of blend these colors in a little bit. And the reason we're doing that is we want the sand and the water to almost look like they're connected. I'm just gonna take some blue and some white on my paintbrush. I'm just gonna scrub it along that edge, kind of changing the angle at which it is, so it's not going straight across that edge. I'm gonna pull that light blue into my water. I'm gonna wash that brush off, and I'm gonna go get my small itty bitty baby brush. I'm sorry, my medium round brush, not my itty bitty one. And I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna dab some white on the edge of this line I just made. And by dabbing this white on the edge of that line, it starts to look like a little bit of sea foam. Now the trick with this is you don't want it to be an even line of white. So in a couple areas, you're gonna wanna make that white get pretty tall. Now up here at the top of our pineapple, we're gonna add some stars. I like to do that with the back of my paintbrush. I think it makes just the perfect little clusters of stars. Now you can put your stars all over the place, but I have just recently enjoyed keeping mine in clusters. So I'm gonna cluster my stars up. All right, so we are going to add in some flowers. The flowers we're gonna add in are traditional Hawaiian flowers, and I'm gonna make them in yellow, red, and orange. So with my paintbrush, I'm going to create 3 flowers right here in this corner. My first one is a red flower, and I'm gonna start here with the circle. And these are petals that kind of swoop up like this. So that's like, you know, everybody's little 5-year-old flower petal we make. But the difference is that you paint one in all the way. Then you go to your next one, and your second one has to overlap just a little bit. And then your third one will overlap just a little bit. Your fourth one will overlap. Well, this one will fall right off the canvas. And then here's the magic. You're gonna take white, and you are going to start from where the overlap is, and you're gonna end right there. So start where it overlaps, end right there. Start where it overlaps, end right there. Now the center of this flower is going to be darker, so I'm going to take just a little bit of purple and I'm just going to dab that on in there. Just kind of darken that center up. Wipe that brush off, and I'm going to take a little bit more purple and I'm going to pull it up into the center of these petals. Kind of mixing in with that red color as we go up. Wash that brush off really well. My next one I'm going to lay out with a white color first because it's going to be yellow and I want it to be able to be stronger than that blue background. So the same idea, we're going to start out here and we're going to make a petal that goes out and up, out and up. Okay. And then my third one is going to be a small little flower right down here. So I'm going to make, again, I'm going to do it in white, but I'm going to make this one smaller. Now you're asking why I made you get green. Well, because we do need to have some petals on these, or some leaves on these. We're gonna add a layer of green right here. Probably need to do a second, maybe third coat on that green. Put another one going right over here. I always like to put a little bit of yellow with my green. It really brightens the whole picture up. We're gonna let this dry a little bit. When we come back, we'll add our final details. Now that this is a little bit dry, let's go ahead and add our second layer to our flowers and our petals, or our leaves. So I'm gonna first start with this. Well, actually I'm gonna start with this one right here, down here, and I'm going to use orange. And I'm going to paint in all of these flower petals orange. Now this one's gonna go behind that other flower. So I'm gonna start with yellow in the center. And I'm gonna pull that yellow up into the center of all of these flower petals, just to kind of lighten in that center area. Then I have to go in with my white. So I'm gonna wash my paintbrush off really well. And I have to go in with my white, just like I did with my red flower. I'm gonna start here and I'm gonna pull this side all the way down. But then this one over here, I'm gonna stop part way. So this side goes all the way down, that side's part way, which means this side goes part way, and this side's all the way down. You can even brighten this one up a little bit. So this last one right here, I'm going to paint yellow. So I'm going to put my yellow paint right here on all the petals. I'm going to take white paint in the middle, pull that white paint up. Put a little bit of orange in there too. I'm going to make the center of this one a nice red color. Maybe the center of this one a nice red color too. Let's go back and look at these leaves here. Definitely want to darken up that left side with some straight green. to do is this line here. Remember that one side goes all the way down. The opposite side does not. I want this a little bit more red than I had it. I've told you guys before, I love changing my paintings as I go. You never know what's gonna happen when you're painting, so just be prepared to be flexible. Now you can continue to add flowers and petals and greenery anywhere you want, really. Cover the whole basin. You could throw a flower up at the top of your pineapple. Really, the choice is yours, but what I want you to do when you're finished, go to our Painting with a Purpose Facebook page and share your picture with me. I always love to see what everybody creates from the ideas that we give. So make sure that you grab a color that's going to show up in your sand, sign your artwork, share your artwork with us on Painting with a Purpose, and be sure to like and subscribe to our Facebook page. Have a great day, friends.